sincerely hope you've had a quick and an enjoyable coffee break and you had a chance to network with each other. Our third panel of the day is Business in the Czech Republic, a golden opportunity. I have a very distinguished group of panel that will highlight the value and importance of investing in the Czech Republic with the Czech Republic. Mr. Ilya Mazaniak, Head of Foreign Section in the Czech Chamber of Commerce. Engineer Peter Pospíšil, Head of Investment Section in Czech Invest. Professor Michael Mishrik, Chairman of International Chamber of Commerce in the Czech Republic. Mr. Kamil Blazek, Chairman Association of Foreign Investment. I invite all of them, please, to join me on stage to begin our session. I would like to ask Mr. Ilya Mazanek, Head of Foreign Section in the Czech Chamber of Commerce, to begin this session of Business in the Czech Republic, a golden opportunity. Please, sir.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, Excellencies. قبل كل شيء في البداية اسمحوا لي أن أرحب بكم، أن أرحب في نفس الوقت هذا منتدى التي نحن نتوقع سيساهم في قسط في تطوير العلاقات التجارية والاقتصادية بين دولتينا الصديقة.
Welcome you
أنا
on the
باللغة
occasion of the Forum on Cooperation between the two countries, and will continue in Czech.
Chtěl bych rovněž jménem Hospodářské komory České republiky vás přivítat na tomto fóru a ocenit rovněž uskutečnění tohoto fóra, které považujeme za významný počin, který přispěje k rozvoji
this forum has been organized as it will contribute to future development of Czech-Saudi business relations. To start with, I would like to say one Arab proverb.
ولسان واحد ورغم ذلك نحن نتكلم أكثر من أن نسمع. Což volně přeloženo znamená,
if you translate it,
člověk má dvě uši,
then it says that a human being has two ears and one tongue, and despite all of that, a man speaks more than listens.
V českých obchodně ekonomických vztazích se zahraničím a mám na mysli zejména v exportní politice v minulých letech byl zcela zřejmý trend.
There was quite a clear trend in the past years, and it was a trend that was commented by also a group of Czech economists that pointed out, in particularly in the mid-1990s, that our business relations focus mainly on the EU, and our experts focused on this particular area. It is well known that 80% of the Czech experts go to EU countries. It's quite logical. It can be well understood to a certain extent. It's correct. But here, and also Czech economists pointed out that we should also learn from countries such as the Netherlands or Belgium, that for decades strive to diversify their foreign trade, not only to focus on EU experts or European experts, but also to focus on markets in Africa, Asia, Latin America, so that the export portfolio is diverse and complementary enough, so that it prevents at the times of economic downturn. And what I have in mind here is also the recent financial crisis, global crisis, so that during those times the risks are minimized by exporting to other than European countries. And that leads me to Middle East and also to the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Middle East was, has been and still is a very traditional market for Czech exporters. We have a long-term tradition of Czech business relations with this region, and it is evidenced by many development projects carried out with these regions.
Právě toto je jeden z těch důvodů,
this is one of the reasons why we should not neglect these markets. During the time of economic downturn, these markets could guarantee that the Czech companies would not face internal difficulties and would have markets that could replace those markets where the situation is perhaps too complicated. And this brings me to the Saudi Arabian market. This market is a relatively new market for us. The history of economic relations, and I don't have in mind relatively weak business relations before 1989. What I have in mind is the past, let's say 25 years, are quite recent and well diversified. During this forum you heard about success stories of Merco, Linet. Of course, there are many other areas such as energy sector, water management, gas industry, infrastructure, healthcare, where Czech companies could turn to, or architecture. At GCC countries, architecture companies are offered with great opportunities. And what I want to say is that the number of Czech companies present in this region is still limited. It is limited by the fact that small and medium-sized companies do not want to go beyond the framework of the EU. For such companies, it is much easier to have their own business interest in the nearest vicinity, which is perhaps a mistake. I do understand that they are afraid of an environment that is new to them, but I also believe that both the Ministry of the Foreign Affairs, Ministry of Industry and Trade, and also other organizations such as the Chamber of Commerce create quite a good framework for entering these markets, provide sufficient information Also, there are quite frequent business missions to this region, in particular into Saudi Arabia. In the past years, there were several such missions. The last one in May 2014. And therefore, I believe that the framework has been well developed. We could also add to that good contractual basis that we have. It is the general agreement between the two countries, then the double taxation treaty and protection of investment treaty. So we have the framework set. Czech companies, when entering to the Saudi market, should be aware, and we also heard about that you need to be patient. It's a specific feature, it's a very traditional market, and you need to be patient. However, if the company persists and has a good quality, solid and reasonably priced product, it may become successful. You need to keep in mind that direct contact with a partner is necessary. Those ideas that you will just negotiate and agree on a project over the internet or over the phone is just impossible. In this context, it's also needed for the Czech companies to be educated. They need to understand better cultural differences and cultural specifics. They need to study, they need to have at least basic knowledge of the local culture. It looks perhaps as too daring from me, but they should really read also local literature, Middle East literature, which is very rich with deep roots. They need to have at least some knowledge about the culture of these countries. Let me tell you one more aspect. Czech export is basically machine engineering industry, so these are value-added products and services. And that fully corresponds with the intentions of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. As past 10 years saw restructuring of its economy. They try to diversify their industry and not focus only on oil and gas. And this is what matches the intentions and plans of Czech companies. And I fully believe that the Czech companies have a lot to offer. That's all. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I would like to invite Engineer Peter Pospišil, Head of Investment Section in Czech Invest.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, Your Excellencies. It's my pleasure to be here to present you what Czech Invest is doing, how we are attracting the foreign investors into the Czech Republic, how we can support them. And of course, the aim is to increase any Saudi Arabic investment to the Czech Republic. So I hope that the potential investors here will be listening carefully, and I will be very happy to provide them with the deepest information if they will be interested. So we have only 8 minutes, right now 6 minutes left. So maybe I will really jump through the presentation very quickly, and I will stop only on those slides which I think are really important. Czech Invest is a governmental agency. We are driven by the Ministry of Industry and Trade, and our task is to support the foreign investment in the Czech Republic, both the foreign investors and the local investors as well. We are helping them not only in the beginning when they are just considering stepping into the Czech Republic or European market, but we are keen to help them to develop their business in the Czech Republic also after they decide to establish their operation in the Czech Republic. We are focusing on three different types of activities. The first one is manufacturing, the second one is research and development, and the third one is shared service centers. Being a governmental body, we are helping the investors in liaising with local municipalities, with different ministries. We are actively solving the issues that are occurring both in the decision-making procedure or after the investors settle the investment in the Czech Republic. We are focusing on different priority sectors, which you can see, and for these sectors we have also the sector specialists, which have really deep knowledge about the sector. They are really helping the investors to understand the sector-oriented environment in the Czech Republic and helping find them the local partners. Czech Invest is also present in all of the regions. We have the regional offices in all of the 13 regions of the Czech Republic, and we are also present worldwide. We have six different foreign offices trying to attract the investors from those territories directly. So we have 2 offices in US, we have office in Germany, in London, we have office in Shanghai, China, and we are about to establish a new foreign office in Korea. Czech Invest has around about 20 years of the history. So far we have attracted 1,500 of investment projects, generated around 250,000 new jobs, and throughout the years these investments generated around 35 billion US dollars. Number of projects according to the country. Of course, being a neighbor to the Germany, the biggest partner for us is still the Germany, followed by the USA, Japan, Korea. Unfortunately, you can't see the Saudi Arabia on this graph, and also this is my task here to increase this portion, and hopefully in following years we can see the Saudi Arabia also in this graph as well. When we are talking about the sectors, Czech Republic is an automotive country. Most of the projects coming to the Czech Republic is automotive oriented. We have 3 big car makers plants in the Czech Republic, and also accordingly most of the projects are suppliers and tier 3 sub-suppliers of these car makers plants, or they are supplying the German car manufacturers in Poland, in Italy, etc., or in Slovakia. Yeah, this is let's say our treasure, what we have, the best or the biggest companies that Czech Republic attracted so far. Of course, you can see those 3 biggest car manufacturers, but you can see there, for example, company Red Hat, which is today celebrating, I think, 10 years in the Czech Republic. IT company, you can see the Eaton company, which recently established a huge R&D center in Roztoky u Prahy, a small town near Prague. They will have a center of excellence there, employing about 300 engineers, very closely cooperating with Czech Technical University. We are very proud to have this project here. Reasons to invest in the Czech Republic. I think that the arguments which I can tell you more countries in the Central Europe, but I think that Czech Republic is a very nice example combining all these factors together. We have outstanding geographical location, we have a very skilled labor force, we have very good living environment, attracting the expats to the Czech Republic. Altogether, I think that Czech Republic can provide very good starting point for the companies that are considering coming to Europe and establishing the operation in Europe. Last and the most interesting part, last minute, how we are attracting the companies. We have the system of the investment incentives. It means when the investor is considering coming to the Czech Republic, when he is establishing the company in the Czech Republic and investing the money in the Czech Republic, we have a system how to support the investment with the investment incentives, with the tax relief. It means the investor can be provided with a tax relief for up to 10 years, up to 25% of invested amount. We have a cash grant incentives on the number of jobs in different regions. We are trying to support the regions that are they have high unemployment rate, and we have also grants for training and retraining. And last but very important, we know that not only the greenfield projects, but also merchant acquisition projects are very important, and it might be very interesting for Saudi Arabic investors. We have a merchant acquisition project called the Czech Link, which is actively offering the companies, the Czech Republic companies, that are looking for the strategic investor. We have a list of them. We can introduce you the companies. We can search the companies for you as well. I will jump it. And the last one, we see a very big potential in the startup companies, spin-off companies right now. It's a boom of startup companies in the Czech Republic. We are helping them actively to promote themselves abroad. We have a Czech Accelerator program which is helping them to, let's say, to learn how to struggle in the business environment, and as well when they see themselves prepared for a strategic exit, we are about to help them via the Czech Link Start program, which is something like the Czech Link, but this is only aimed for the startup companies. And we will be offering these startup companies to the investors, to the foreign investors, to find the best strategic partner. For more information, please find the presentation, or you can contact me directly, or you can look on our website. Thank you very much. I hope I wasn't so much over time.
Thank you very much for this important tour de force in the Czech investment opportunities that exist for the Saudi investors in particular. I would like to invite Professor Michael Maestrich, Chairman of the International Chamber of Commerce in the Czech Republic, who is very familiar with our part of the world.
Okay, welcome. I'm not new in this environment, I must admit. I'm actually working closely with a number of Arabic countries. I would like just to say that, as it is mentioned in my presentation, due to the close collaboration at that time with chairman of IOC countries here, His Excellency, Ambassador of Saudi Arabia, we organized a great occasion, in 2012. And then we also did Islamic banking sitting, because we try to sell it to the people, the understanding what is such a business in Arabic countries. And I must say that I felt that this is a good opportunity for the future, because I must admit that for Czech business people, there are a number of those who are pretty much like naive, frankly speaking. Yeah. 13,000 companies are exporting outside EU. And suddenly you can find out that no one is well understanding sukuks and other things. So I must say that now I'm pleased to find out many new Czech companies coming to me. And just at this moment, one of our big clients is sitting with another Islamic bank in Emirates, and I'm going to join them this afternoon. So basically, so it looks that the business is going on, which is very important. So we are not only conferencing, but we are really delivering. And this is all what I do like to say. If you look to the current expectations, outlook of International Monetary Fund, so still you can see that there are a number of countries which are getting into the problems, but not Middle East, not the parts of Europe which we are speaking so far. And this is even more visible in the case of yesterday's outlook of European Commission, which actually confirmed that Italy and France, one of the two biggest engines of EU, are losing steam. And French government is not going forward in its reforms. So basically, what was mentioned by Mr. Mazanek here, looking for the new markets is even more urgent, even back, because it's not about the volume of exports only, but I would produce you the calculation that value added of exports being delivered at the final markets, including selling, is much higher. So, for example, we are exporting 80% within EU, but it's not proportionate to value added of exports, because very often we are serving as a sub-suppliers. And sometimes it's much more important to deliver the goods and to keep the margin. And this is something which is still not yet well regarded in Czech Republic. If you look into Saudi Arabian case, unfortunately, it's not only the business which was mentioned by Mr. Pospíšil with regard to the investment, which are still small, but actually this is also part of the problem in the business exchange. If you look at our exports are actually in this region, 356 imports from Czech Republic, and exports to Czech Republic are only 14 million, as of 2013. So this is a great opportunity both ways, And I believe that this is something, if you look into OECD country risk, which is great, it's number 2 out of 7 ranking. If you look into global competitive index for Saudi Arabia, it's number 20, better than Czech Republic is, So basically, doing business is delivering the same message. Ratings are actually pretty nice. Actually, our rating is A1 for Moody's, and they have A3. So if you look at this, so of course, Saudi Arabian parties for business is US, China, Japan, South Korea, and of course, Germany. We are not going to be a dominant player, but as a niche player, this is a great opportunity always. And this is something which I find as a huge opportunity. And in order just to provide you with certain idea, look at this. Currently, last year, Customs Service actually provided 488 companies approval for exports to Saudi Arabia. So the number is growing, but still the total volume of exports should be improved. So I believe that this is a great opportunity, not only with Saudi Arabia, but also if you look around, I provided here you more updates for a number of countries of IOC, which together with His Excellency, the Ambassador, we are also historically discussed, you know. And you see that Saudi Arabia, with GDP per capita, is number 4 out of IOC countries after Qatar, Brunei, Kuwait, and next to United Arab Emirates. So just purchasing power is there, and opportunities for business as well. If you look at those numbers of exporters here, so you can see the whole region in kind of short way of delivery. I am not going to provide you any more facts. You can find it out on the website of Mr. Shobokshi, and I believe that it can provide you with good entrance. And I would like just to say that if anyone would like to provide me with any kind of questions, I would be more than happy to serve you. Thank you very much, and thank you, Mr. Shobokshi, for nice opportunity.
Thank you, Professor. I'd like now to invite our last member of our panel, Mr. Kamil Blazek, Chairman of Association for Foreign Investment.
Okay. Good morning, Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen. I'm very pleased and honored to be here and speaking to you. And first, perhaps I would also like to congratulate Mr. Shobokshi to this success. And I think it is a success because when we joined forces and agreed to support Shobokshi investment in this forum early summer, I wasn't actually hoping that it will be so big interest in Saudi Arabia. And I think seeing this, it only underlines the fact that there is a big potential for business between our two countries. And I hope that we all will be able to work together in the next year and in the years coming. And I think actually next year we are celebrating the 20th anniversary of diplomatic relations between Czech Republic and Saudi Arabia. So hopefully we will be able to deliver some presents to this anniversary in the form of real business opportunities. Now, okay, it seems that my presentation is there. I hope it's working. First of all, to say a very few words about AFI. AFI is an organization, non-governmental organization, non-profit one, which works very closely with Czech Invest, Czech Industry Ministry and Ministry of Foreign Affairs on promoting the Czech Republic as investment destination, on attracting foreign investments to the Czech Republic, but also in helping Czech investments to go abroad. Well, this presentation will try to give you a bit more information about Czech Republic. For those of you who don't know, most of you are, of course, from the Czech Republic, so you know it, but possibly there will be few things which you will see also for the first time. And then a very important part in the second phase of the presentation are the investment opportunities, which we believe are attractive and which we believe will be attractive for some of the Saudi investors in the coming years. As you can see here, Czech Republic is in the center of Europe, and at the same time, it's not very far from Saudi Arabia. Well, I think the area, we can skip through those. The population, 10.5 million, and well, I think we all know where we are. It's capital Prague. The inflation rate is very low, and I think that says something to some of those points later on about how stable the Czech Republic is, how stable investment destination it is. The inflation rate is possibly even too low for the Czech economy, but certainly it shows very high degree of stability. GDP growth rate in 2012 was 1.7. Last year it was even higher, and we very much hope it will be even more higher in the years coming. GDP is the biggest one from the new member states in the in the European Union. So mainly, if we see them as our competitors in attracting investors and investments, the Czech Republic is leading also in terms of the overall wealth. Relationships between Czech Republic and Saudi Arabia, as I already mentioned, and as most of you know, it was established rather late, I would say in 1995. However, there were some things, some were already mentioned, which happened before those dates. One of the very important ones is that even in 1990, even before the establishment, there were Czechoslovak army those days working and fighting together with Saudi forces in the Gulf War with Iraq, the Czechoslovak anti-chemical unit. We have the treaties, the usual treaties which are in place, which enable and support the mutual investment and trade, protection of investment and double tax treaty. And we have very much, I think, all on hand, which will support successful investments in the Czech Republic. The four main things which we tend to say are the main attractiveness indicators for the Czech Republic for foreign investors is the skilled workforce, reliable infrastructure, and educational level, which is very high in the European and world standards, and in particular comparing it with the costs. The cost and value proportion which we are able to deliver is, I think, one of the biggest, if not the biggest, indicator of the Czech Republic being an attractive investment destination. Well, at the same time, Czech Republic is a nice place to live. If you look on number of global indicators of how good is it to live in the Czech Republic, you see that again from the region we are usually on the number 1 or number 2 in prosperity, in Mercer quality of living survey, and we are not that bad placed in the global comparison either. Well, just to enlighten this a bit, 6 things you might not know about the Czech Republic. The lightning rod was invented here in 1754, and we have also invented the first Pils beer, which obviously is not possibly the biggest export article to the Saudi Arabia, but I think it is at least very well-known world brand. The soft contact lenses were designed and first produced by Dr. Wichterle here in the 1961, and I'm sure some of you here in the hall actually wear them. The Czech company Tatra is the third oldest car manufacturer in the world, after Daimler and Peugeot. It's possibly not that much known even among the Czechs, but the brand Tatra is very well known in Saudi Arabia, I believe. And the sugar cubes were invented in the Czech Republic as well, and the word robot as well. Now, Czech Republic has a very much stable financial and legal system. Another table now from Standard & Poor's show that we are graded AA, which is actually the same grade as Saudi Arabia, and by far the highest ranking from the CEE, and actually the same grade again as US or France. We are very much placed in the top 20 emerging markets on the number 5, and I know I have to run now, so I will just switch through some of the less important parts to show you some of the sectors where we believe the investments from Saudi Arabia might find the right place to spend money in the Czech Republic. Well, healthcare and healthcare services, that was already said, and that's actually the fact by now. But financial services and banking, as you know, the Czech financial system is very stable. At the same time, a number of banks are owned by Western European and US parents, which may not on the long term be willing to keep those branches in the Czech Republic, so some of them might be on sale, and it could be an opportunity for investors from Saudi Arabia, for example. Biotechnology, nanotechnology, IT and telecommunications. You see some of the global brands which came from the Czech Republic, like AVG or Avest, but you would find many more smaller firms in the IT and IT security, for example, and other areas where the companies are actually waiting for investors and would be quite important for Saudi economy, I believe, as well. Nuclear energy and energy overall. Czech Republic is one of the exclusive club, members of exclusive club in the world, possibly of 15 or 16 countries, which are able to produce over 80% of parts for nuclear power plants. And Saudi Arabia is aiming at constructing a nuclear power plant in the near future. So we very much hope that some of the Czech companies would be able to participate in this project. Well, real estate, I think this is something which is at hand, and we know that some of the Middle Eastern investors, some of the Gulf investors were looking at Czech real estate assets, and we certainly can provide you with more information about this. Aviation industry and defense and security industry. Some of the Czech products are world great, and of course automotive. But I think my colleagues already said very much about automotive. And let me just conclude now with last sentence, I promise, and I'm sorry for being over time. We have been working with Saudi Arabia for not very long time, but I really much believe that Czech Republic is an attractive destination to your country, and it's to some extent more attractive than countries like France and UK, where Saudi investors spend a lot of money in London and in Paris. And I hope that this will change, and they will change their focus to come to the Czech Republic. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Blaziek, for this very informative session with statistics. And that I would like, on your behalf, to thank all our panelists for contributing and giving us an eye-opener to the Saudi guests today to think about investing with and in the Czech Republic. Thank you very much.